Let's get straight to the point. Number 8. The fabric fermentation. You might think you're a professional powerhouse, but your blazer is currently hosting a microbial rave. It's called the fabric fermentation, and it is the fastest way to turn a high-stakes networking event into a social distancing experiment. We're talking about that damp, musty smell of clothes that sat in the washer for 3 days because you were too busy grinding to move them to the dryer. Scientifically, this isn't just a bad vibe. It's the pungent calling card of Aspergillus and Penicillium fungi feeding on your detergent residue. While you're pitching a $1 million idea, your coworkers are subconsciously wondering if you live in a damp basement or a swamp. This smell triggers the brain's amygdala, the disgust center, effectively overriding any professional authority you think you have. It signals a fundamental breakdown in your personal logistics. If you can't manage a simple laundry cycle without creating a biological hazard, why should anyone trust you with a budget? It's a literal rotting system you're wearing like armor. Clean your act up before your career stays as stagnant as that wash water. Number 7. The digital decay. Think about the last time you shook hands or gestured toward a spreadsheet. If your cuticles look like they've been through a wood chipper, you've already lost the room. This is the digital decay, and it is a loud, jagged siren announcing a total lack of impulse control. Whether you're a nervous biter or just someone who treats their hangnails like a DIY construction project, those mangled fingertips are biological evidence of high cortisol levels and poor self-regulation. From a dermatological perspective, when you rip at your periungual skin, you're creating microscopic entry points for Staphylococcus bacteria, turning your hands into a literal petri dish of inflammation. In a high-pressure boardroom, people aren't just looking at your polished slides, they are subconsciously scanning your extremities for signs of stability. Ragged, bleeding nail beds suggest a person who crumbles under deadlines or lacks the basic patience for maintenance. It's a grooming gap that screams anxiety louder than any verbal stutter ever could. If you cannot manage the 10 tiny shields at the ends of your fingers, how can you lead a team? Smooth them out before your career starts fraying at the edges, just like your skin. Number 6. The nasal forest. Imagine you're delivering a keynote, but your audience is just mentally trimming the spider legs crawling out of your face. This is the nasal forest, a catastrophic breach of the facial frame that acts as a visual parasite on your credibility. Those hairs, technically called vibrissae, are meant to be your first line of defense against dust, but when they stage a jailbreak, they become a source of fascination for everyone except you. Physiologically, your nostrils are high traffic zones for filtered air, yet when the foliage spills out, it signals a reckless disregard for the details that matter in a negotiation. It is impossible to maintain professional eye contact when a thicket of terminal hair is waving hello every time you take a breath. From an evolutionary standpoint, out-of-control growth suggests a total loss of situational awareness. You are presenting an internal filter as a decorative feature, which is a tactical error. A failure to keep the forest in check indicates you have surrendered to entropy. Grab the clippers before the shrubs win. Number 5. The shoulder snowdrift. Take a look at your shoulders right now. Is that professional success raining down on you, or just a heavy dusting of personal failure? Welcome to the shoulder snowdrift, where your inability to manage a simple scalp condition becomes a glaring distraction for everyone behind you in the elevator. This isn't just dry skin. On a fungal level, it is often caused by an overgrowth of Malassezia, a yeast-like organism that feasts on your natural oils and accelerates skin cell turnover. When those white flakes accumulate on a dark suit, they form a high-contrast map of your neglect. In a high-stakes environment, this signals a catastrophic lack of detail-oriented thinking. Psychologically, your peers view those flakes as a sign that you are overwhelmed or simply unobservant of your own surroundings. If you can't keep your own epidermal integrity in check, why should anyone believe you can oversee a massive project or lead a team? It's a visible layer of debris that suggests your standards are slipping. Treat the source before your career gets buried under the drift.
Number 4, the auditory obstruction. Lean in close and tell me, can you actually hear the deal closing, or is there a wall of amber sludge standing in your way? This is the auditory obstruction, a glistening hoard of cerumen that turns your outer ear into a literal goldmine of social awkwardness. While you're nodding along, your boss is getting a front row seat to your body's secretion of saturated fatty acids and squalene. From an anatomical standpoint, your ears migrate wax outward to trap debris, but when it starts pooling in the concha like dark honey, it creates a massive communication gap. It isn't just a hygiene slip, it is a subconscious signal that your input channels are clogged. If people see a physical blockage, they instinctively assume you aren't mentally processing their feedback. In the realm of otology, this buildup can even muffle sound, making you that person who constantly asks for repeats. It's a grotesque visual that screams you've abandoned basic self-audit. Scrub those sensors before you tune out your own promotion.
Number 3, the color stain biomap. Check out the halo of shame currently framing your face, because that yellowish ring on your shirt is telling a story you definitely didn't put on your resume. This is the color stain biomap, a literal geological record of your past 48 hours of sweat, dead skin, and oily secretions etched into your fabric. While you're trying to look like a visionary, your neck is busy depositing a mixture of sebum and environmental grime that has oxidized into a permanent stain. Through a biochemical lens, this is the result of constant friction against your skin's lipid barrier, but to your colleagues, it looks like a lack of basic laundry standards. This visible border suggests you're the type of person who tries to stretch a single dry cleaning visit for an entire month. In the realm of cognitive bias, a dirty collar creates a halo effect in reverse. It makes your data, ideas, and integrity seem just as tarnished. If you can't manage the boundary where your body meets your clothes, how can you manage a high-level contract? It's time to retire the map before you lose your way.
Number 2, the optical gunk. Have you ever looked someone straight in the eye during a high-stakes interview, only to find they're still carrying a crusty souvenir from their dream world? This is the optical gunk, and it is the ultimate indicator that you are physically present, but mentally still under your duvet. That gritty debris in the corner of your lid is technically known as rheum, a dried-out mixture of mucus, exfoliated skin cells, and ocular lipids. On an ophthalmic level, your eyes produce this discharge to flush out irritants while you sleep, but leaving it there for a 9 a.m. meeting is a strategic disaster. It signals to your superiors that your morning routine is a rushed, chaotic mess, and that you didn't check the mirror before stepping into the arena. In a world where attention to detail is everything, having a waste brick on your face suggests you'll miss the fine print in a contract, too. This crystalline buildup of bacteria and oils is a tiny, hardened billboard for your own negligence. It turns a professional gaze into a glimpse into your bedroom. If you want people to focus on your vision, clear the garbage out first before you lose your credibility. Number 1, the olfactory wall. Ever wonder why your boss takes a sudden step back every time you try to close a major deal? Welcome to the olfactory wall, a mixture of stale espresso and cortisol that creates a barrier between you and a promotion. In the world of oral biology, this is the result of coffee's high acidity slowing down saliva production, allowing anaerobic bacteria to feast on leftover proteins. When you add the stress breath component, driven by the sympathetic nervous system drying out your mouth, you're essentially exhaling a sulfurous cloud of dimethyl sulfide. You think it smells like hard work, but everyone else thinks it smells like a dumpster fire in a Starbucks. In the field of social psychology, this scent triggers an avoidant response in others, signaling you are in a state of biological crisis rather than professional control. It is a sensory assault that tells the room you're frazzled, dehydrated, and unkempt. No one wants to partner with a biohazard. Brush those teeth or lose the lead. If you liked seeing why your peers are holding their breath, hit like and share this with your crustiest friend. Subscribe to Coolest Dude Explains for your daily dose of disturbing truth. We post every day, so stay sharp. Now go buy some mints. You're scaring the interns.